You're watching 20 TV Insider from Academy School District 20. Hello and welcome to 20 TV Insider, your weekly look into events in Academy School District 20. I'm Brian German. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to start with basketball as the Air Academy boys team is 2-0 on the young season with wins over the Classical Academy and Valor Christian. 20 TV's Kara Hammer shows us how the team is hoping to carry on a winning tradition that started in the fall. Kara?
Thanks, Brian. With most of the Air Academy basketball players being multi-sport athletes, the Cadet Hoops team is stacked with talent. From the soccer field to the gridiron, this is a group of kids who know how to win. The Cadet basketball team is a squad full of athletes. With a handful of players coming off a state championship soccer title, they are trying to continue the win streak from the fall into the winter season.
I hope it carries over really well. These guys, they know how to fight, they know how to play through everything.
And sometimes it's simply their athletic talents that help them win games.
They don't think like basketball players. They think like athletes and they think outside the box. They do things that you shouldn't do on a basketball floor because they're not basketball sound, but they work.
They know how to win and they know how to play together. And for three of them, they're more than just teammates.
It's not just that they're three of the same teammates, it also comes bloodlines. They are three cousins. They've been playing since they were first could pick up a basketball. So there's chemistry that you can't really coach there, that they know where each other is.
From family to friends, Adam Brown and Nate Renfrew are the dynamic duo on the football field. Brown, a quarterback and leader of the team, has a different job on the court.
He takes the role kind of what we call the garbage man. He does all the dirty work. He will take the toughest assignments and he just grinds it out, and Renfrew's kind of the same.
It may not be a football, but you can still see a lot of passing from the QB.
Adam Brown will throw the ball long, and he finds his favorite receiver, and still we're able to score off of it.
Coach Clark says from their soccer intuition to their skills on the football field, he's hoping the boys' basketball team can be the next state champion at Air Academy.
They know how to win. They're excited about it, and they won't accept losing.
And Brian, you have to know that one of the best parts of having so many athletes play in the fall is that they start the basketball season in such great shape, and that's translated into 2 wins so far this season for the Cadet team.
Thanks, Kara. Joining us now is our District 20 resident basketball expert, Matt Pauley. Matt, thanks for coming on the show today, and let's talk about it. Kara talked about that Air Academy team and the multiple sports that they play, but what she didn't say is they do not have a lot of returning starters, and that seems to be a theme in District 20 basketball this season.
It really is. You look at Air Academy, they have to replace 4 or 5 starters from last season. We saw them the other night on 20 TV. A lot of those guys were the soccer players, and they seem to be coming together pretty well, but Liberty's another team. They're replacing 70% of their scoring from last year. Pine Creek doesn't have a lot coming back either. So throughout the entire district, there's some rebuilding efforts that are going on.
And another thing happening in District 20 is it seems there's an awful lot of new coaches, new faces on the sidelines for these teams.
Yeah, and the one new coach is not so new, but he's new right now. That's John St. Clair. He comes into Rampart. Rampart does have a good amount returning, and St. Clair came from Cheyenne Mountain. He had previously coached at Rampart, I believe, from 2006 to 2010. He's really one of the best coaches here in the area, so District 20 is glad to be able to get him back within. But you've got a new coach at Pine Creek and Joe Roush. You've got Al Blanc coming in at Discovery Canyon. So a lot of new coaches throughout the district in boys basketball.
So there's going to be plenty of excitement as far as District 20 boys basketball is concerned. And how about the girls? I know the girls may be slightly different because they do have a lot of talent coming back, at least a couple of teams.
Yeah, I think Pine Creek, really good. Jane Lydiot is back with them, so she's a very good player. Rampart returns a lot. They have a new coach as well, but Rampart's going to be a tough team to beat this year. It's going to be fun to watch them and see what they can do in the state tournament.
Does it make it more fun as a broadcaster? You mentioned new coaches. There's several new coaches on the girls' side as well. Does it make it fun having some new faces on the sidelines or no?
Yeah, I think so. It's both ways. You enjoy being able to get to know the coaches who have been there for a while and watch their programs grow, but it's also fun to watch the new coaches come in and see what they do. Megan Latham was at Rampart last year. It's going to be Ashley Miller this year. What does she do different with that team compared to what Coach Latham Latham did, and there's no right answer, no wrong answer, so it's definitely going to be fun to watch them. Phil Royko, he officially takes over this year at Air Academy. He's been with that program for a while, but officially this is his first year, so a couple new coaches on the girls' side as well.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to watch. And if you want to watch your favorite District 20 teams this winter, you can do that by tuning in to our live 20 TV broadcast. This week, Matt and I head to Liberty and their new gym floor. Looking forward to seeing that, Matt. On Tuesday, the Lansert boys will take on Pueblo West at home. Then on Wednesday, the Classical Academy boys team hosts Manitou Springs. Both of those games get underway at 7 o'clock. Now, to see the entire schedule and any archive broadcasts, you can go to our website at asd20.org/20tvsports. And now, of course, another big thing happening is the Air Force football team. District 20, one of the District 20 schools is actually on the Air Force Academy, so people are kind of excited about this. The Air Force football team going to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl up in Boise to take on Western Michigan. Matt, I know you work on those broadcasts as well, the radio broadcasts with Air Force football. Is this exciting for their team?
I think it is. I think the first emotion may have been a little bit of a disappointment because it's not the bowl they wanted to get to. When Oklahoma State defeated Oklahoma, that knocked out the Cactus Bowl. It also kind of knocked out the way everything was going to fall for the bowl selection. So when you win as many games as Air Force did this year, some disappointment about going to that bowl, but still, let's be honest. This time last year, if you would have said 12 months from now, Air Force football is going to be going to a bowl and there might be some fans who are disappointed about the bowl they're going to, that would be a ridiculous statement coming off a 2-win season. So when you're in the Mountain West, there's limited bowl options sometimes. Air Force gets to go bowling. They get to go against another team that's had a great turnaround this year in Western Michigan. And they go to a community that they're familiar with in Boise because they play, obviously Boise State's part of the Mountain West. So more positives than negatives with Air Force going to this bowl.
Get to play on the blue field, and you mentioned it, both these teams comeback years. Air Force went from 2 wins to 9 wins this season. Western Michigan had just 1 win last year. They've got 8 wins this year, and apparently Western Michigan runs the ball a lot, so does Air Force. Does the blue field play a part in this, Matt, at all?
I don't think so. Is there going to be any rules about Air Force can't wear blue?
No, I think Air Force actually probably will be wearing blue. At least
there you go.
The early prognosis, that's what I'm seeing. So we'll see. Thanks for joining us today, Matt. That's been good talking to you. Now, if you have stories you would like us to cover that affect the District 20 community, please give us a call on our tip line. That's 719-234-1780, or send us an email, 20tv@asd20.org. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week on 20 TV Insider. You're watching 20 TV Insider from Academy School District 20.